Coke Dads. Coke Dads.
I wanted to wear my hat.
Your Coke Dad's hat?
No, but just my regular hat. Someone asked why I wear such bright hats. This is weird.
It's because you want to show your bright personality through hat form.
You'll get it, but that's not why. What's the tragic moment of my life?
Getting hit by a car.
So what happens if I wear really bright hats?
They'll hit you with a car, but at least you'll look good.
Welcome
I
back.
get it. Welcome back to Coke Dads. This is episode 28.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only got to get to like 120 more of these before people start listening, apparently.
You know what's funny? What if, are you going to be heartbroken if we hit episode 121 and we have no fans still?
No.
Because I enjoy the process.
Because we, as we've learned, we do this for us, and if people join us on this journey, cool.
We made it free now too.
Yeah.
The whole journey.
Well, still, please support us if you can.
The whole flavor journey.
You know what's so funny is can you clean up your house a little bit? I gotta look at your fucking underwear the whole time, bro. Why do I have to look at that?
It's a nice pair of underwear. Actually, want me? Okay, so you're gonna do your monologue, I guess.
Yeah, please. Hey, welcome back to Coke Dads. This is episode 28. This is my monologue time. If you've never watched Coke Dads, our dads were Coke heads, not together that we're aware of. My mother has not been able to trace whether our dads ever met when my dad lived here.
My dad would have told me.
How would he know, though?
He would have just been like, "Oh, I did coke with that." My dad.
I did coke with that guy's dad.
Well, are you trying to say your dad's forgettable? Because you paint a picture. That
my dad's not forgettable.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
but a lot of coke could also hurt the memory.
That's fair, but the way I believe things is that if my dad and your dad partied, and then
can you hear yourself?
Yes.
Okay, I can't.
And I sound sexy.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
If your dad, being as eccentric as you say he is, with the South African accent, and then now I'm doing comedy with a South African, who the theme of our pod,
yeah.
I don't
You think your dad would have clicked?
Yes,
he would have been like, "Yeah, I definitely did coke with that guy."
Wow, that's so sad. Imagine that the coke they did together was just so good that there's just no memory of it.
I mean, it's not like I can ask my dad, "Hey, Dad, you do coke with this guy's dad?"
I could ask my dad, but I'm not going
How does that
to.
come up?
Yeah, I'm not just
You're at Rosh Hashanah dinner.
Send a text.
Hey, listen here. Just send a photo of him. Yeah, you know this guy?
Hey, Dad, you ever do coke with this guy?
You ever meet this guy named Johnny? And then you assume.
If anyone's listening, post pictures of your dad's coke friends. Just people who did coke with your dad. Let's get engaging.
Well, so I wrote a new thing about it. Tell me what you think of this. I was like, because my dad has a ton of friends still, right? This cult following of friends. They added me to this Facebook group at one point, and they were like, "This is Johnny's kid. We got to look after him."
How many people are in the?
It's 37 dudes.
No, okay, and then because I was
no women.
I was hoping it was a larger number. So
that's a lot of friends.
No, but if you were
for a guy who's dead,
and then I was like, "How many followers you got?"
yeah, no, that's funny.
Where I was going.
Yeah, well, he has more friends in death than I do in life.
But it's like a joke I never actually tell on stage. But when you get into coke, you're a fun guy. So it's like your dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fun guy, and then he died young. So the legend of your dad is now
he's a fun guy.
He's just
well, it was these 37 people, obviously they liked him. He brought the cocaine. You know what I mean?
Did he make them buy it? There's no way your dad got 37 people high on cocaine.
No, but they were part of it was probably one or two individual times.
But I'm proud of myself. It's so fucking funny. I just think I'm so cool. I don't know if you can see it on the camera shot.
Yeah, you got a smug face.
I'm
yeah,
just
of course.
I'm so cool.
Look at me crushing it.
Think about it. If your dad brought
this is YouTube, by the way.
40 people. How much cocaine does 37 dudes? Was your dad a big guy? I guess that doesn't mean anything
6'3".
Jeez.
Fat.
How fat? 300 pounds?
Yeah, probably 280 maybe.
Because that's what people don't get. It's when you watch wrestling, those guys are super fit and super tall, and then someone like myself, I'm really short and I'm overweight. I'm doing not the most overweight I've been, but I weigh probably now 150. And it's crazy.
You only weigh 150?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying my heaviest I've ever weighed is 165.
You look proportionately 300.
What does that mean?
I would have assumed you were bigger than 160.
It's because of my massive eyes. My eyes and lips make me look heavier.
More like when you sit and you tap your belly like a yeah.
That's my thing, eh?
Like you're proud of yourself. You're like, yeah.
Proud of myself. I'm proud of I am now a supporter of this podcast. Do I listen to it? No.
Well, we
The
haven't
clips?
done an episode yet.
I've watched every clip we've ever made, and they're good.
So the whole thing should be good based on that logic.
I haven't watched the whole thing.
You haven't watched a single full episode.
There. I was there. No, I listened.
I was there. Oh,
Do you
man.
listen to our episodes?
Yeah, because I edit them.
Do you listen to them after you edit them?
No, because I edit them.
So no one listens.
Hey, we had 11 listeners on one of them.
Look at us go.
Now that's going to become 15, and then 15 is going to become 20,
So last
and
night,
20 is going to become 9,000.
last night we brought back
Crowd
Sunday
control.
Funday featuring crowd control. Didn't do a weirdo. Kind of happy with that.
You were not feeling great.
I'm just glad that you persevered and pushed through, and that last night went down. And it's in a unique comedic experience. It's just so much fun.
Our two brain children are two of the most unique stand-up shows in Toronto comedy,
It's
for
just
sure.
the riff show is just so because when we're running properly, I love the idea of going on stage and then just talking shit. And then by Wednesday,
It's a bit.
There's something. And then by
What
Thursday,
did you take from last night?
I haven't listened back yet. I just had fun.
That's good.
I really like the part when I was like, when Chad's like, "This is weird," and I'm like, "This is cool." And then I was like, "Yeah," Chad's saying it's weird. I'm saying it's weird, and everyone's like, "You said it's cool."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "You said you were cool," and I like sat back and I was like, "I am cool." That was my favorite. I don't even know what it was. Just so organically that show.
It was a strange part of the show, but it was fun.
The weirdest
fun.
part about stand-up, and I guess we'll just get right into tips, is
Tips.
it's your character flaws. So for me, it's like, am I whimsical? Am I alt comedy? You would say no. You would say in the descriptive of me, no. But by hanging out with me as a person, like, yes.
No, you're like goofy and weird.
So yeah, so I'm saying when I go on stage,
You're not
now,
alt. Alt is like going on stage and being like, I'm gonna read from this book,
recently I have a
and
bit.
then you read from the book.
I've taken the cat bit that was developed here, and
Yes.
now I'm just like, if I just want to be so successful that people just like request the cat bit, and like for 10 minutes I'm just like, and it was just like so.
Did it do well?
Yeah, because I was like, I know it's COVID, but like imagine if I just went up to this woman and just buried my head in her chest, just like. It's just so funny. It's so funny that like, it's the art part of it. Right?
Yeah.
It's like the jokes have to be there, and like you got to come hopefully prepared, unless you're like, because even us, as ill prepared as we are, we've been doing this long enough that the ill prepared over time became haphazard, and then now it's just like this
Part of it.
preparation. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
there's
like that was part of our preparation.
It takes like mindset to get into the place to be able to go up with no idea.
Well, with me and you, it's like, or at least me, I know that eventually my ideas will show up, and then with you, you still have a roadmap.
I did a set out of town.
Cambridge, shout out Gator's Tail.
And I learned very fast that I got to find some lighter things. It was a dark fucking set. By the time I got to the end, I was like, Jesus Christ. In my own head, I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, you're going to bum these people out.
This is the thing. I get what you're trying to do. After our talk last time, I get that you're trying to bring up an opinion and change minds and make it funny. You're trying to be like, hey, this isn't a normal thought. Let me get you there.
Yeah.
I get that now.
That is
what you're
that
trying
is
to
what
do.
I like to do.
But
yeah.
it's funny because you're going so far out there.
But those are my thoughts.
I get it.
Like,
But,
that's
the
just-
way you're like, the way you taught me about premises and the way you're just like, you got to build and stuff. Like you just go out there. You're like, I would punch an old lady in the face.
The queen. Let's be clear. Not any old
Or
lady.
you're just like, you'll just be like,
Punch her right in the face.
You'll be like, yo,
Kick her corgi.
Hitler wasn't great, but he had vacations. You know, like, shit, like you just like have these like, and it's just like there's there's no baby steps.
He had like a fucking long-term girlfriend.
But like, you know, when you play a video game, like even FIFA, how many years have you been playing FIFA?
I don't even.
And you know, when you turn it on every year, there's that tutorial while it loads.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to go through.
Yeah, the loading
Think
screen.
of your jokes like the loading screen.
Yeah, I
Give
don't.
us a little bit of.
You
a
know, I
loading
never
screen.
play the loading screen. I just wait till it's loaded.
Well, I just with you, what makes it laugh to me is that like that's what I've noticed with your jokes. It's just like I'll be like, because I'm trying to be supportive now. If any, especially new people, I'll watch your sets so I have reason to not book you. You know? But with you, it's just like I now analyze comedy, and with you, you just come out there and you're just like, you're a left-wing dude, and you'll come out here like right-wing thought, and then you're like, no, I'm just kidding.
It's not a right-wing thought.
It's like
a jarring thought. I'll give you that. But it's still. Well, I guess that's why I had that bit for a while. I got to bring it back where it's like, thoughts aren't real, right?
Well, yeah.
That's what they tell us.
My favorite Ariel Kagan this weekend. That's what I'm going to add to this segment.
My favorite
Ariel Kagan is when you go to people and you're like, hey, how do you guys know each other? And you're like, oh, we're cousins. You're like, oh, cool. You guys? You're like, oh, we're cousins. Oh, dope. You're all cousins? Like, that's cool. Cousins are kind of like sisters.
No. You've glossed over a part where, I was like, because I had asked people if they were having sex, and then I was like, "Oh, are you guys cousins?" They were like, "We're cousins," and I was like, "Oh, so you guys aren't having sex?" And then I was like, "Oh, it's kind of like one of those porns, where the step."
But then you told like 6 to 8 people that you were just like, if I was your cousin, we might fuck.
Yeah,
that's what.
Hey, it's true. Maybe we would.
But you tried to nuance it.
Yeah,
so it's just like, what the fuck is going on in here?
Well, because I was
my favorite Ariel Kagan moment.
Yeah.
Brought to you by
Super weird.
Club. No, just super like. Super.
They liked it. They laughed.
Comedy's weird because the more I do it, the more I realize it's like everything you don't want to be, you sort of are. It's like it's not the 90s anymore. I'm not going to shout out at anybody, but we're not at Club 54, and I'm not like nice shirt faggot. Like that's not what we do. But I am like nice mustache weirdo. Like it's still sort of
the same.
Like it's not that.
I'm gonna have to bleep out that one part.
But you know what I'm saying though. It's like we're at that point in comedy where like me and you, we're like nice guys. And then we still be like, you guys fuck it. Like, it's just like.
Well, we're not. I think, okay, you want to be a nice guy, go ahead. I don't think I'm a nice guy.
But we're authentic guys.
I think I'm a complicated guy.
You're kind-hearted.
But I am
like,
kind-hearted.
The funny thing about you, if we're walking down the street and there's like a homeless person that looks like they're about to have a fucking panic attack, you're like, don't even look at them. But then if you see a homeless person about to cry, you're like, oh my God.
That guy the other day where he was like.
It was in the same day or the same week. You literally were like, don't make eye contact with her. And then later that day,
you mean the twigging out crackhead who we couldn't help?
Yeah, but it was.
And then the guy looked like he was just sick on the side of the road who couldn't use a ride because he was having a heart attack. They're different. Those are different.
The balance of Ariel Kagan. We saw 2 people in need.
Someone I couldn't help.
One you were like,
even if I wanted to help, I couldn't help. And then someone who, if I just asked, maybe we could help.
Here's the thing with helping. I'm over it. I'm here now to help myself. I will, don't get me wrong, I won't not mentor people. And I do believe that the future is our children. Okay, I'll stop that. But I'm saying I'm at a point now where it's like, I'm 37. We just opened a comedy club. It's proof. It's proof while we watch it out there that if you give 10 years of your life to this game as hard as you possibly can, it will pay off. So now it's time to just do it. I don't know if I'm.
What does that have to do with
breathing that heavy? One of us is breathing super heavy.
It's probably you.
I don't think it is.
You look sweating.
Yeah, I'm sweating. I didn't realize, guys, we're in a studio now. Like it's cold outside, but I got to take off hats.
There's a lot of lights.
That should be the name of the episode.
A lot of lights.
I just like the alliteration.
Yeah. But what does that have to do with helping?
I'm just saying that helping.
Like why? What do you? Well, firstly, helping is such a broad topic.
I just mean you.
How do you help
yourself.
Right now? Yeah, you do have to help yourself first.
Not it's like first. I'm saying you just gotta help.
It's like when the planes crash and you make sure your own shit connected first.
Well, if the plane's crashing, you all gonna die. So.
And then you punch the person next to you just to see how it feels.
Hopefully, it's an old lady.
Yeah. Hopefully it's the queen.
She's dead. In no circumstance now could you ever punch the queen.
Well, can imagine she's not actually dead. Maybe she faked her death so she get a few years out of the spotlight.
Yo, shout out Mitchell Alves. Maybe you can punch a dead woman in the face.
Well, now you're just putting things together that don't make sense. Did you just take my own thing and relate it to a bit that made you super uncomfortable? And then turn it back on me that my bit.
Back. I was all just trying to call back. I wasn't trying to turn. That's the thing with me and you. Now we're at a point. I'm glad you guys got to see it. Me and Ariel are funny creatures because, you have to remember that if we were actors or we were in any other field, we'd be competing against each other.
Yeah.
But instead, because it's Canadian comedy and no one cares, we've joined forces. So it's funny to me where it's just like
a whirlwind.
But this has happened a bunch this week where I'll say something and you'll just be like. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I am being ridiculous, and I might subconsciously be poking, but I'm not trying. Yes, I'm trying to maybe make you go, but not I'm not here to no relax,
Fair.
Yeah, 'cause you'll see a cool sketch later. The thing with Ariel and me is we have an ongoing joke. It's not even a joke, but if I just say the word talent, Ariel gets so mad at me. And it is my fault. I basically one day
said I had no talent.
None. I said
other than stand up.
Yes,
which is still a compliment,
but at
I guess.
the time, you didn't hear that part.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
heard I had no talent. Like, no, I have tremendous talent.
Okay, so I'll tell you the story from my perspective. All right, people? We have a talent show. Perspective. We have a talent. That's the name of this episode. Perspective. We have a Sunday variety show, which is like a talent show. And one night I was going on stage, but I had nothing to do, and we're not allowed to do stand-up. And Brandon was like, "You don't have any other talents," which is kind of insulting.
I know the way I worded it was even different, because if I worded it that you didn't have any other talents, you would have assumed that I said you were good at stand-up. The way I said it was like, you aren't good at anything. And then from that point forth, you're just like, if you just hear the word talent
out of your
even
mouth.
if like we're just hanging out with people and other people say the word talent, I'll get like this look. It's just like, you bastard. And we even have we have some sketches coming out, and the word talent came up, and Ariel immediately was just like, "You saying I have no talent?" It's like, dude, we're filming. Relax.
No, it's because you always do this. You were goading me from the couch. You were like, "What other talents you got?"
I wasn't goading.
Yeah, you were. No, don't lie. No, own your shit, bro.
Trust me, I do own my shit.
No, you don't. Own your shit.
I will own my shit. I was not the last thing I try to do when we're on that. First of all, I am the goat, but I don't try to goat. Like, that's not
goad. Not with the T.
What does it mean?
Goad. It means to like elicit a rise. You were trying to get the best out of me on camera, and you thought the way to do it. And you did, because by goading me, we got funny shit out of it.
The footage. The best part of where we're at now is we've hired Max Sheldrick.
Shout out Max Sheldrick.
He knows that it's like, hey, Max, this is your job to make filming funny. And the whole, I say that word a lot, dichotomy, but the whole fucking, dynamic. I wasn't even there, and I felt it. You know, like I wasn't even present, and I felt how good it went.
Yeah, Sunday went really well. It was pretty good.
Yeah, so we're excited to show you guys new things. Check out Backroom Comedy Club for that.
And our own pages.
Well, what we learned this week running Backroom Comedy Club is that it should just be us. It should just be me and you. And if any women have been doing comedy for 6 years plus, send us some tape. We'll book you a lot more.
So
am I wrong?
No. You're skipping over why we think that, though, right? You're skipping. Here's the thing: is like I think we're in what would be defined to me as I would say it's almost a culture war within our own brand, right? It's because you and I are very giving people, so we've given a lot to to people around us, like the people.
That's not why I'm saying that. I'm just saying that no matter who you are, if you do stand-up comedy, I just don't want to deal with you. Like I will better. I'm all about community. We'll talk about the Toronto Boom in a second if we remember. I'm just saying that I'm over. Last night, for instance, riff show. I was feeling sick. I could have just done half hour. Instead, I booked a bunch of people. Like you booked. Like I'm not hating on it. They're great. You should check out the scene. I'm just saying, as a booker, it's just annoying. It's just annoying sitting there. It's annoying. We did a Spanish show this week. Successful. I should be happy. But instead, in my head, I'm sitting there for fucking 60 minutes, and I don't understand a word out of anyone's mouth, and there's no subtitles, and I just like... You know what I'm saying, though? I'm just angry at dumb shit right now, and it's probably like has to do with the way I've been treating myself and the amount of cigarettes and like where I'm at. But
yeah, I don't know why.
Shit.
I enjoyed the Spanish. I enjoyed seeing people get big pops and me being like, I don't know what you just said, but I know it was funny.
They talk very fast.
So fast. I was like, what? Is Brandon on stage? What's happening?
Yeah, I could keep up. For sure. Yeah, it was just crazy. So yeah, check it out. If Español no habla us, but if you speak Spanish, somehow you're listening to this and catch this at the last Friday of every month. Last Saturday of every month.
You're a terrible booker.
6 o'clock, doors open. Come check out.
I take it back. You're actually a pretty good
Si
booker.
habla Español.
Backroom Comedy Club.
Backroom Comedy Club. No, you're right. It's has to do with our nature. I'm just saying that it is exhausting having to like do things like it's just other people, I guess.
But that's the business.
Like
that's what we signed up for.
Like with credit cards, it was like credit cards. Oh, you trust me? Let's do this. And it wasn't so bad. Like it wasn't great, but it wasn't so bad. But with this, it's just like the customers are finally coming around. We have repeated customers. We have new people. We're barking people on off the street. Our shows went from the last time we filmed this. Our shows were at like 0 and sometimes 6. We're now at like 6 and 12. You know, like we've grown. We've doubled.
Yeah.
We have at least one night sold out every week, you know? So I'm happy about all this. It's just that like, oh my God, people, it's the comedians. The comedians are just like so demanding. It's you breathing, by the way. Because when you look at me, I just like see your face, and you're not doing it. You're not like sitting there like playing Call of Duty, like. But it's because you're listening and you're so close to the microphone.
Well, yeah, because you got to be close.
But you can come back and forth.
How
does it feel for you? You're used to holding.
I prefer this. I like it.
I don't know how I feel.
I'm getting used to it. This is gonna take a few episodes.
I feel like we need guests, but I also don't want guests.
No, well, you literally were just like, I don't want to deal with any comedians, but be a guest on our podcast.
It's not okay. It's not that I don't want to deal with them. There's just something that it's even with like the booking. Like when we shoot these new shorts, you guys see, whole filming process takes like 15 minutes, maybe 20, maybe. And all my job is like I book people, I let them in the building, I let them out. But if we're downstairs, it's like I'm running up and down so much that I don't even know what's going on. And like, I trust you and Max. I know it's gonna be funny. I know if it's like someone who's really close to me, I could be like, you know what I'm saying? Like I could stick around and like, but it's like now that we've built the club and now that we're doing our own sketches too.
I want to know more. Like, I want to know why you feel this way.
What, exhausted?
No, like the exacerbation you're showing for.
Because I never thought
the job.
I never thought
the things that we have to do for it to be successful.
No, I get that part. What doesn't even bother me. It's just like I went to school for film, television, media, and because I'm a diva, I only focused on the writing.
Okay, I'm glad you said you're a diva.
I know, well aware. Come on, I made us get a hot coffee before the show started. You know,
you want to go to your trailer,
like,
or
hey, you're like, let's meet at 2. I was like, how about 3? And you were like, fine. And then you showed up at 3, and then I was like, I showed up at 3:10 at my own house. It was like, you want to go for coffee? And you're like, I don't drink coffee. I'm like, can I? I know I'm a diva. Okay.
So you're everything you hate. Oh, that's
yes!
it. You just hate the reflection.
Yes, that's part of it. And then what's also crazy is so I go to school and I focus on writing and I focus on producing. Now, let's be real. I don't go on behind the camera a lot, but I'm pretty good at it. And I killed all those classes, but I never go behind the camera. I edit, never, and I'm pretty good at that too. But in school, I only focused on the producing and the writing. And now it's just like, I'm doing all these, like this. Any advice for anyone that wants to be in film and TV? This is the advice. I'll give you the perspective, what I took it from school and spent all that money. Get a job in the film industry. Work your dick off. Be the first person at work every day. Be the last person at work every day. Hope, and don't even hope because it will happen. Someone doesn't show up for work one day and you get upgraded. And just keep doing that. And if you want a job in the film industry, don't look for a specific job. Just go, clean toilets, fucking do crafts table, and I guarantee to you that at some point someone won't show up for work and you'll get promoted. But like for me, I was like, fuck this. You know, I worked on like Big Brother, which was cool, but wasn't. Like it would have been cool if I was a kid doing that job. But like, golf was kind of cool, but I didn't end up.
You don't like golf?
No, I don't like golf. I like basketball, but I didn't even do that. So anyways, I'm here now. And it's like, I spent all that money, I did all that shit, and I recovered, and I did all that crazy shit to just come back to exactly what I'm doing at a higher level in a different city with a better, like, I get it. I understand what's playing out. But it's like now we're doing this cool shit, and we're doing the side of the content. And it's like literally
fun.
It's fun.
It's probably the most fun.
But it's still work. I mean, like for me, it's like I'm a production coordinator. Like for me, I'm like, yeah, I help write the sketches, and yeah, our sketches. But when like if another person's involved in the sketch, I booked the person. I made sure they showed up on time, and I got them in that fucking room. You know,
it's a good job.
Like,
you do a good job.
I do good volunteer work. Yes, I wouldn't say job. I'm not going to try to start that fight. I'm not goading you right now.
It is a job.
I'm saying that it's exactly, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that like it's funny in your head. In your head, when you close your eyes, it's like, oh man, like everyone my whole life told me I'm creative. I'm a great writer. I could probably direct this, that. But the fact and the reality of it is we've now built a business. We've taken money and hired someone. And we have
because we just can't do it all.
But we now figured out like that's the. I'm just saying that it's the pieces. I've met people over the years that are literally the guy that could film girl, both whatever, no sex, whatever you want for this example. But it's like they film, they edit, they do sound. All you need for something to look good is film, audio, and and then the editing. And I've seen guys and girls, non-binary, whatever, do whatever the fuck to make it look beautiful. And it's like one person crew, and they kill it. But then it's just like you build.
But are they also running a comedy club?
It's not even that. I'm just saying that like it's just funny how the world plays out. It's funny in my head where it's like, why aren't you still at Big Brother? I don't know. The best job I could have ever gotten was a production coordinator. Oh, how's the club? Oh, well.
I'm doing production coordinator.
That's all I'm saying. It's like, oh, I opened my own business. Oh, what do you do? Well, you know the jobs that like I didn't stick around for? I'm doing them now. That's all. I'm not upset. I'm just saying that the universe is super funny because you get exactly what you need. But if you want something, it's like it doesn't play out like that.
Go on. This is hilarious to me.
All right. I'll use you as an example.
Yeah, okay.
So when you were a kid, what did you want to be? A
Cricket player.
Yes. So tell me about that. How did it stop?
I broke my hand. I was playing provincial cricket. I got to the like tier below playing for my province.
And then why?
I wasn't good enough.
And then why?
I was like the sub guy.
But why did you want to do cricket?
I just loved the sport. I liked.
Do you like the idea of like touring around and like?
Yeah, I just I don't know.
Doing something what you love.
When I was a kid, I just always I like sport. I've always liked sport. I like soccer. Football.
In Canada, we say sports.
Sports.
Like we pluralize it.
Okay.
I like it. Sport.
It's just sport. It's generic sport.
No, I get what you're saying. From there you broke your hand.
And then I was wiki keeper, and I went to catch something. My hand hit the ground, and I broke my hand.
Shattered or break?
Just broke my fingers. Like you can still see this one's bent. Like boop boop. Sorry, I'll show the camera. Boop boop.
That's how he does it, by the way.
Yeah, that's
we're not allowed to have these talks because we're grown men. But like, if anyone's ever had an orgasm off that finger, thank you, cricket. Kay?
Please comment below.
Please don't.
Anyone who's had an orgasm from me, comment below.
No, not from Ariel. From that specific.
From this
finger.
specific. That's all of them. No.
It's just curves in the perfect little.
Perfect way. I just have to turn that.
I've never seen a finger in a half a swastika before. That's crazy. And then from
terrible.
there,
and then
it would work.
It would work. I hate that it would work.
Okay, we just skewed. So then from there, you got into music right away, like you.
Yeah, and then at that point, when my hand was broken, my friends were like, "Hey, we're gonna go watch this concert at the skate park," and I was like, "That sounds like fun." And it was a whole bunch of punk bands. And I was like, "Oh, this is a good time. Like everyone's having a good time." And then I wanted to go to more, but the problem was there was only like one, maybe two under 18 concerts a year. So it's like, well, how do we make more of those? I was like, oh, you can just rent venues. So I went to this bar and I was like, before your main show on a Friday or Saturday, can we do an all ages show on a Saturday? And they were like, kind of like how we're now doing with like the Spanish show, just like utilizing dead space.
Dead time.
To make money, right? And so I was like, well, I'll sell the tickets. We'll do wristbands, no alcohol. And it worked. The first one had 300 kids come.
Damn, how much did you sell a wristband?
It was like $10 a ticket.
3 G's, baby.
But I had to pay the bands that I booked, so I didn't make any money. But it was fun. It was a good time. I had a good time. And then one of the bands at that show was like, hey, why don't you, like, we're looking to get merch. And my mom at the time owned a print company. And so I was like, hey, Mom, we got this cool opportunity where we can make band merch. And so she made the band merch, and then I would go sell the band merch, and I got to go to all these concerts I wanted to go to.
Now you're making money.
And, well, not really. I was kind of getting paid, like, you know, like...
All right, so
I was a kid. I wasn't making money, but I was
the
like...
reason I brought this all up.
I was doing the thing I wanted to do.
So the reason... Now, when you had the cricket dream and,
yes.
and the rock stuff, what did you hate about those jobs? What did you hate when you saw it? Were you like, I don't ever want to do this? Because I'm going to be a star.
It's a good question. The things I hated the logistical side of certain things with music, like this band's, and it happens in comedy all the time where you're like...
That's where I was going.
That's just... Where you're like, oh, I'll book this person, then they cancel, or they don't want to do it anymore, or they change their mind, or they don't want to help in this way, but they want to do this, and they want to do that.
The game the way I intended it, and we'll just get to the ending.
Yeah.
Name now that you know that everything you have to do for our club and Bubby's Boys and Coke.
Yeah, it's all the stuff I don't want to do. I know that.
But that's what I'm saying. The universe is crazy.
That's life.
That's what I'm trying to say right now. That like life is nutty in the fact where it's like you can have whatever you want. You could have heaven on earth, but you got to go through hell. That's all I'm saying. The GOAT, motherfuckers.
I mean, you're saying it so like I think you're overplaying the stuff you don't want to do. Every time there's something I don't want to do, By the time I finished it, I'm like, why did I put that off for so long? It's not hell.
Where we're at now, it's not that it's hell. It's that like we now work.
We just know the things we do want.
We work like 80-hour weeks. Okay. Now we're at a point where like
I'd say it's about 60.
Okay, but there's two of us, so like 120. Maybe we got to put in more. Maybe it is what it is. We have max now, adding another 40. But I'm not gonna. We won't count hours.
I think 60 is fine.
Where we're at right now is just like the reason I say we have to go through hell is that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but we're going through like. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been off work now for like a couple months. You just now it's summer. That job was over. We're at a new transition where it's like it's quote unquote the school year, but it's September. It's just like. At 37 years old, it would have been nice if I played cards better to have like not necessarily a security, but it's just like it's crazy in my head that like I don't start work every day till 4 o'clock and then I'm out till like 1, maybe 2, maybe later. And it's okay. It's the life I wanted. I love it. But that's the part that's blowing my mind where it's just like, holy shit. Like I'm not saying this club isn't going to, when we spoke to the printing company and we run our numbers, I know in the next 3 years, we're going to be doing what we love and making money and paying for a life with what we love. And that's what gets me through it. You know, that and the Lord Jesus Christ. But I'm saying that what makes me go is that, and I get it now, and I see the wheels turning, and I see the content, and I see the support, and I see the community, and now the magazine and all the shit. And like, don't get me wrong, like I see it, okay? But it's just like when I say we have to go through hell, it's just like I'm broke.
I think you mean you have to go through discomfort.
But that's you have to though. That's whatever the wording you want to choose is.
Yeah, I think no, like, but you see the disservice you're doing yourself. You're making it hyperbolized. Like, what are you doing to try and make additional money? You know what I mean?
No, exactly. Okay, well,
this is hilarious. Well, I'm being deep and trying to.
No, be deep. Something flew in my coffee.
He's just gonna leave while I'm being deep. No, I know, but like we're on camera. Monologue 2.0. Well, now I don't know because I got distracted by you fishing in your coffee cup. Let's just rewind that, can we, editor? Oh, me? We'll just rewind to Brandon dipping his finger. Did you see that? He was like, ooh, ooh. I now know how it looks like for him to go half swastika fingering his girlfriend's vagina.
Okay, so we have to call this episode a finger banging. Clearly, we have way too many finger banging references. And am I wrong that half a swastika finger would hit the G spot?
I didn't say you were wrong. I just thought it was funny that you were like.
Okay, so let's go back to the real conversation. You're talking discomfort. I'm just saying that
there's ways out of your discomfort.
Yes,
but you love discomfort. You love to be miserable. Admit it.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that right now where I'm at is instead of getting 20, 25-hour, 30-hour job week, I now created a thing for myself to make it club related. And I'm in. I'm just saying that if you want anything in this world, be prepared to, like, it's literally the jobs that I didn't want to do in school and stuff. Like yourself, the rock star thing, the cricket thing. It's like, I'm just saying that, like, you can have whatever you want. You just have to be aware.
Yeah, I think they should teach.
That's all I'm saying.
I think they should teach in school. There should be a class. Do the things you don't want to do. And literally, it's like, hey, what don't you want to do today? And they're like, clean up the toilet. And it's like, hey, kid, you're cleaning the toilet.
Well, we're a weird generation, and it's kind of weird watching these true crimes things at the same time. But like, we're a generation where don't get us wrong, like past us, it's the same thing, and a little bit before us. But like the way the world's designed is for your parents to take their disposable income and spend it on their kids. Now things are changing a little and whatnot, but like, I don't know for you, but for me, it was like they literally had TV shows made to sell cereal in the ads, you know? So it's like the 90s were a weird time, and now we're all adults. And now we're all like looking back and being like I was watching a cooking show the other day, like Chopped, and some guy was like, oh, I've seen this ingredient before. Like, I was eating sauerkraut in a cup at my grandma's house with a fork. And then he like pauses and he's like, that will always be a cherished time in my life. And it's like, that's where we're at. Where it's like, you become an adult and like, you know what I'm saying?
What a terrible memory.
The way he held on to it. It was like,
sauerkraut
like
is
he
disgusting.
is now a chef because of that memory, you know? It's just crazy.
Is that why we're stand-ups?
We're stand-ups because something happens in our lives so traumatic that we made a joke and it all went away.
For a moment.
And
then we were like, we don't need to think about that problem anymore.
You know how your dad felt about cocaine? That's you with laughter.
No, I know that.
I know.
I think it's a bit healthier than cocaine.
Imagine if you can cut laughter with Viagra.
You could. I could go on stage with Viagra in my system, just rocking a hard on.
It's funny to hear comics back in the day talk about like, yo, you ever like a bunch of comics just took Viagra and went on stage, and it's like, why would you do that? A bunch of comics just took a bunch of mushrooms.
Why do a bunch of comics do Adderall now? And
everyone's insane. No, but this was a good episode. I don't know, all I was trying to say, and it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying that you're right. We should have like a course, or you just got to teach your kids like life. It's not even a matter of chores, because that's its own conversation. Like, yeah, you need to have fucking hygiene and cleanliness. I'm saying that literally you're gonna have to. You want to be a filmmaker, and it's cool that you can like write a film, but like pick up a camera, learn how to.
That
edit
you
it.
are talented at.
Like you have to be the jack of all trades for all of it, and it's funny that they want you to specialize, but at the end of the day, it's like if you want to do something, you got to be good at all of the things.
At least have a good understanding of all the things, I think.
Because a lot of people could do.
And to understand, you have to do.
A lot of people could do what we do in the sense of opening up a comedy club. Like I think anyone could open a comedy club.
Yeah, try it.
When you look at when it goes to the expertise.
Yeah,
like,
please try it.
Okay. Yeah,
if you're a comedian watching this, open your own club.
Do it. Go for it. I'm just saying.
And then come on down to the Backroom Comedy Club and tell us what we should do.
No, but the reason I'm saying it is that like when you look at like
I was being a sassy bitch.
The conversation we just had, it's like, okay, so you come from a background of renting venues. Okay, we rent a venue now, you know? We both come from a background of like booking people. Look, we book people now. Like, you know, come from a background. It's all gonna, maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Whatever you do in life, like it's all gonna make sense later. Like whoever's listening to this, who has to hear this now, coming from someone at my age, if you just work hard and stay positive, I know that I came off like I wasn't, but like you just keep going. Like, dude, I own a comedy club with my best friend.
That's me.
I got real funny over time, like real funny. And that's all I ever wanted. And now where I'm looking at it, it's like, oh, well, I want these other things. And it's like, okay, let's manifest those things. All I manifested quickly was that I wanted a space and wanted to get good. Okay, that happened. Now it's, you know.
Next.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening to Coke Dads. Wasn't the funniest episode, I'll give you that.
Perspective.
But it's perspective.
It wasn't the weakest episode.
It wasn't the weakest episode. No, definitely not. We'll see when I watch the footage back. But this has been episode 28 of Cock. I said Cock Dads.
I'm just gonna say comment just because, like, let's see if you made it this far. If you made it this far, let me know. How about that? Just leave a comment. Be like, I watched the whole thing, and I'll even write back and say, really? Why? And we can.
And then they'll be like, you're entertaining.
I'll be like, oh.
I like your little Jew face. Yeah. Swastika fingers.
If we both had them, and that was just like, no, it's our finger. Like, no, that's.
Thank you for watching. I'm Ariel Kagan Comedy.
I'm Brando Jokes.
Peace.